I almost didn't go inside that cafe. Through the foggy front window, I saw a woman sitting alone at a small table, her hands
You won't
wrapped
believe
tightly
what
around a
happened to me
cup of
today.
coffee that had
Tell me
clearly
all
gone
about
cold.
it.
It was
Her
absolutely
shoulders were
incredible.
tense, and she kept glancing at the door like she was waiting for something that wasn't coming. Then my heart dropped. I recognized her instantly. She was my ex's mom. I stood there frozen, wondering how life had put me in this exact moment. I could have turned around. I could have walked away. But something in her eyes told me I couldn't. Before the story begins, take a second to subscribe to the channel, MS Tales, hit the like button, and leave a comment sharing where you're watching from. Your support helps these stories of kindness reach more hearts, and it truly means the world. The cafe was one of those cozy neighborhood places in a small American town, with soft music playing and the smell of fresh pastries in the air. I had come there to clear my head after a long week. The last person I expected to see was Linda, my ex's mom, sitting alone on what was clearly a blind date gone wrong. Linda had always been kind to me. Even after her son and I broke up years ago, she would occasionally comment on my social media posts or send a short message wishing me well. The breakup itself wasn't dramatic, but it had been painful. We'd loved each other once, deeply, but life pulled us in different directions. Seeing his mom brought back memories I wasn't sure I was ready to face. I ordered my coffee, trying not to stare. But every few seconds, I noticed her glance at the door again. Her phone lay face down on the table. She didn't touch it, as if she didn't want to face the reality that no message was coming. I watched her straighten her jacket, then smooth her hair, like she was trying to hold on to dignity in a moment that felt quietly humiliating. That's when I realized it wasn't just any meeting. This was a blind date. I imagined how long she must have been sitting there. 10 minutes. 20. Maybe longer. I knew that feeling too well. The embarrassment. The self-doubt. The way your mind starts blaming yourself even when you did nothing wrong. I felt a pull in my chest. I told myself it wasn't my place. I told myself it would be awkward. But kindness doesn't always wait for comfort. So I took my coffee, walked over, and said her name softly, Linda. She looked up, surprised. For a second, her face showed confusion. Then recognition. Her eyes widened, and a smile slowly appeared, though it looked fragile, like it could break at any moment. Oh my goodness, she said. I didn't expect to see you here. I was just grabbing coffee, I replied. Do you mind if I sit for a minute? Her relief was instant. Please, she said, almost too quickly. I'd love that. I sat down across from her, and the silence that followed wasn't awkward. It was heavy. I could feel the unspoken truth sitting between us. Finally, she sighed and looked down at her cup. He's not coming, she said quietly. Is he? I shook my head gently. I don't think so. She gave a small laugh that didn't reach her eyes. Figures. I guess I should have known better at my age. That sentence broke something inside me. No one deserves to feel unwanted, especially not someone as warm-hearted as Linda. Without really thinking, I did something that surprised even me. Well, I said, standing up and moving to the chair beside her, how about this? You don't have to sit alone. We can call this a friendly rescue mission. She looked at me, startled. Then she laughed. A real laugh this time. You don't have to do that. I want to, I said. And besides, I already told my coffee it was going to be a long conversation. She smiled, and just like that, the heaviness lifted a little. We started talking about simple things at first. The weather. The cafe. How busy the town had gotten over the years. Slowly, she opened up. She told me about how nervous she'd been getting ready that morning. How long it had taken her to choose an outfit. How she'd even practiced what she might say if there were awkward silences. I felt silly, she admitted. But I thought, maybe it's time to try again. Life gets lonely. I listened. Truly listened. I didn't rush her or change the subject. I just let her speak. Sometimes kindness is simply being present. Then she asked about me. About my job. About my life. About whether I was happy. That question caught me off guard. I thought about it for a moment before answering honestly. I'm getting there, I said. Some days are better than others. She nodded like she understood completely. As we talked, something unexpected happened. People around us started smiling in our direction. The barista brought over a fresh pastry and said it was on the house. Linda's shoulders relaxed. Her posture changed. She no longer looked like a woman waiting to be stood up. She looked like someone enjoying a warm afternoon with a friend. After a while, I noticed her eyes glisten. Thank you, she said softly. You didn't have to do this. But you did. And it means more than you know. That's when I did the unthinkable. I reached into my bag, pulled out my phone, and turned it toward her. Can I show you something? I asked. She nodded. It was a photo from years ago. A picture of her, her son, and me at a summer barbecue. We were all laughing. The sun was setting behind us. It was one of those rare moments where everything felt right. I keep this, I said. Not because of the relationship, but because of the people. Because you were part of my life, and that mattered. Tears rolled down her cheeks. She covered her mouth, overwhelmed. I thought I lost you too, she whispered. You didn't, I said. Some connections don't disappear just because circumstances change. We sat there a little longer, finishing our coffee, talking about dreams and regrets and second chances. When it was time to leave, I walked her to the door. Outside, she hugged me tightly. You turned one of my worst moments into one of my best, she said. I watched her walk away with a lighter step than when I'd first seen her through the window. As I drove home, I realized something important. Kindness doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it's just sitting down next to someone who feels invisible and reminding them they matter. That day taught me that you never know how powerful a small act can be. You never know how deeply it might touch someone's heart. And you never know how much it might heal your own. That if this story moved you even a little, carry it with you. Look for the moments where kindness is needed. Choose to sit down instead of walking away. Because sometimes, doing the unthinkable is exactly what the world needs, and maybe, just maybe, it will change a life.